You're listening to Mad Men Sports, brought to you by Black Button Distilling. Myself, Jake, with Zach on my left and Diamond Dave to my right. You're probably listening to us on YouTube right now, but don't forget to check us out on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. We're all there, just in case you guys want to just listen to us in the car, and you just want to listen to the audio. We're here for you.
So you're tired of seeing our ugly faces.
Exactly.
When your workday sucks, throw us on.
Your Buffalo Bills, our Buffalo Bills, are 6-2, the first time since 1993. That was a Super Bowl year as well. I'll tell you this: I wasn't even born, wasn't even thought of. Zach as well. Dave, how old were you?
I'm old.
How old were you in 1993? Put you on the spot here.
You're 7 years old.
8.
7 or 8. Wow.
I don't want to tell the people that.
And that's fine. We can bleep this out.
Fountain of youth here at Mad Men Sports.
Basically, I'm just saying that's a long time.
That means we're never going away.
And last year at this time, they had won 2 games. So there's definitely some bright spots with this Bills team. And also there's some things that we want to talk about that can be improved. And everyone here has seen that. I mean,
I got negatives.
The run defense, for instance, that's something that we have to take care of. Me and Zach were talking about this earlier. This isn't a new problem for the Bills defense. They're just choosing to run the ball down our throats, and they're exposing us. Zach, do you have any thoughts about how our run defense played today and all year?
The run defense has been bad all year. They've been able to get away with it because there's been more of a... There's obviously a passing league in the NFL, so you've been able to skate by without it. So that's going to happen when you lose Kyle Williams, you lose Harrison Phillips to the year, and you draft a linebacker-sized defensive tackle with the 9th overall draft pick. So that's going to happen when your run defense takes a huge step backwards. It's obviously fixable. I think Jordan Phillips and Vincent Taylor had great games today. I think they step up and slowly fill into what the line should be. Star Lotulelei has had some bad games. He's had some good games. He will fix into that rotation a little bit. Ed Oliver needs to find his footing in the NFL still. I think the run defense is eventually fixable. It's not something that's going to happen overnight.
Yeah. Dave, do you have any thoughts about the Bills' run defense?
Yeah, I've talked about the Star Lotulelei thing all season. I don't think it's going to change. I hope this is his last year as the Bill because he's just not going to get any better. Jordan Phillips is a beast. He is probably our best defender this season, I would go as far as to say. He's outshining what I think he is. He's looking for a contract, and he's damn well deserving it. I think our linebackers need to play up more. I think we need to expect more out of Lorenzo Tremaine Edmonds, who's actually kind of disappointing so far, I think. And I know that's argumentative with you guys. I think not just our defense tackles, but our linebackers need to step up and help out the run game because nobody was tackling Peterson today at all.
The thing why I think Jordan Phillips is finding so much success early on is I don't think teams are finding him worthy of double-teaming him. You have Star Lotulelei, he eats blockers. I don't think people are seeing that with Jordan Phillips, so he's not commanding those double teams. So I think that's why we're seeing his success. He's a good player, sure, but I don't know how he will react to being double teamed.
Do you want to see him back on the team next year?
Yeah, of course.
Probably going to cost a lot of money.
No, I don't think so.
Listen, you're seeing success from Jordan Phillips because he's able to move from the 1 technique to the 3 technique. And when he's more successful in the 3 technique because he's able to get in between the guard and tackles there and really disrupt the play heavily. But also, he moves around in the defensive line front a lot. So he gives the center guard and defensive tackles different looks, especially in that guard scenario. He could go left or right. You don't know. So he's been able to shoot the gaps. He's obviously a force. He's a big energy guy. We know that here at the podcast.
Big energy.
And let's
Number 1 cheerleader.
Let's be honest here. We say it every week. Just 1-0 this week. It's all that matters. Yes, you're 6-2 in the grand scheme of things. You are what you were last week. This week, they'll be winners. Going into a big Cleveland Browns game that is a 2-6 team, the complete opposite, and honestly, talent-wise, the complete opposite of the Bills because they are far more talented than the record, and their defense is horrible. I'll take that to the bank this week.
Yeah, fingers crossed that it won't be a trap game, though.
Yeah, but they were able... Trap game for who?
For the Bills.
Yeah.
They're still loaded with weapons.
I'll
touch on that Wednesday, but I'll make a quick comment on it now. Why is it such an important game? It's no more important than the Redskins game today. Browns are just not good.
It's an important game because it's an AFC game compared to
That's true, but the Browns do not, at this point in the season, Browns do not scare me. They don't scare anybody at this point.
They should scare you because they have the talent to pick it up at any point in time. You need to stack AFC wins at all costs. You're going to be fighting. If this team does get hot, you're going to be fighting them for a playoff spot. So that's the gist of it right there. The AFC North is probably going to be won by the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we have the game on the TV over here. I mean, they just picked off Tom Brady and they're winning 30-20. So yeah, with that team, it shows. I mean, we also play the Ravens, so it's going to show that, all right, we hung with the Patriots. What are we going to do against the Ravens? I mean, they have an elite defense as well, but let's stick to this game, of course, the Redskins. Let's talk about what they did well. We look at their offense. Devin Singletary, coming back, I think this is his second, third game back from injury, starting to look like a dominant force. He fed them a ball a lot. Frank Gore, I don't think, saw as much success as in weeks past. But, I mean, what did you think of Devin Singletary, Zach?
I thought he had a good game. I felt like he was gaining ground in his, maturation process last week. In the second half, we really started to grow as a receiver. And honestly, the week before against Miami, he was running his routes very well. He was getting open. He was getting behind the defense. I think now they're just trying to focus on him, showcase him. Listen, it's not a matter of just, they're both two slow running backs. There was one A and one B. Singletary is your number one guy because he's making guys miss in the open field. He's breaking away from tackles. He is a different beast than what Frank Gore is right now. You're going to ride the hot hand from here on out through the rest of the season. He is your number one running back.
Yeah, that 49-yard screenplay was beautiful by Devin Singletary. What did you think of that play, David?
I think that was probably the offensive play of the game. Like Zach said, Singletary, he finally came out of his shell. The Bills finally used him. What a coincidence. Dable must have listened to us last week. Bills ran the ball, and look how successful it was. I thought, and I know I'm never happy, I thought the Bills ran the ball a little too much today.
Oh, shut the fuck up!
Oh my God! Yeah.
But the Bills, there needs to be a balance a little bit. But I want to see Allen also spread it out. The run game is supposed to open up the passing game. That's basic football 101. But Singletary obviously looked very good. He looked nice and fresh in the holes there. Haven't seen that since probably a young Spiller.
What do the Bills have to do to make you completely happy?
Just let him finish.
I'm just glad we won today because you guys would be suicidal right now if we didn't.
Well, if they lost against the Redskins, the season would be over. You could take it home. Rookie quarterback comes into New Era Field, and beats you. You're done.
I'm not saying the Bill. You guys aren't going to sit here and tell me the Bills' offense was dominant today. It would have been better if we would have passed the ball a little bit more. We had the run game. We established a run game. We finally ran the ball. It looked great. Singletary had a great game, his best game of his career so far. Let's just throw the ball around a little bit now, too. We established a run game. Gore is the power back that played when he needed to today. That was all. I just want to see them.
Frank Gore had an awful game.
All we have to do
today was Frank Gore's
Well, it was
worst
obvious when Frank Gore was going to run the ball. He was only going to run the place he ran the ball.
So you don't even need to use him on the ground and pound. You say you change your pace.
You see at the 1 yard line where they ran 4 straight plays.
No, exactly. Frank Gore's a negative to you right now. Keep Singletary in the game as much as possible. Use Josh Allen on those fourth and shorts, third and shorts, whatever. Just get the first down, have him run forward. That's all you need. Listen, you want to talk about run-pass differential, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Just win the game at this point. You're 6-2. Obviously you lost last week. I think you could have ran the ball more. You could have used Singletary as a playmaker. I sat here at the trade deadline and said I needed another playmaker on the team. Little did I know one was coming off an injury and was going to be facilitating some plays for us. Singletary had a great game today. I like to see him have more good games going forward. He was definitely the best Bill on the field today.
Yeah.
Which it's usually John Brown.
Yeah, and speaking of John Brown, let's talk about the wide receivers as well. I mean, you see somewhat productive. I mean, Josh Allen didn't have the passing numbers we're looking for, but Cole Beasley, yet another touchdown. Dawson Knox had a decent game for a rookie.
Catches, yeah.
And John Brown continuing his streak of 50-yard plus games. I mean, he had 4 catches for 74 yards.
He had a hell of a catch in the fourth.
He did, on a 3rd and 19 play, too.
But he also had a drop that he shouldn't have had either.
Yeah, he made up for it in the same drive, so it doesn't even matter.
Also, McKenzie, I know he didn't do much. He had 3 catches for 12 yards, but every time he was out there, it was a threat. The defense paid attention. He's a great weapon to have, even though we didn't use him much.
Yeah, there was one play where, I mean, the Redskins figured that jet sweep out. I mean,
that'll happen.
Yeah, I think they try to use that too much. I mean, it seemed like every single play
use it until
moving in motion.
Use it until they abuse it. That's all that matters.
Which I think it's almost to that point, right?
The first throw of the game, Josh Allen threw a dot to McKenzie. I like that. I think Allen had a really efficient passing game today. He kind of did what he needed to do in order to win.
He didn't do anything spectacular, but he didn't ruin the game for us, and that's all. He didn't run the ball much.
He had a very Tyrod game.
Out there.
Very Tyrod game, I'd say.
He played safe, and that's fine. We established a run game is what we need to do, which we haven't done the last couple of weeks. We established a run game. We have a run game. Now we can move on and hopefully do a mixture of things next week against the Browns.
I saw a lot of tweets today talking about how, like, just up and down the timeline, how bad the Bills' offense is. Like, at this point, what are you expecting out of them? They're not bad. This is what they are.
Yeah, we're not going to see a 400-yard passing game by Josh Allen. We're not going to see a 200-yard rushing game from Devin Singletary. That's just not where we are yet. And, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we never see that. If we're winning games, be happy with that. I've said it for the past 5 weeks. Doesn't matter who our opponent is, we're just doing enough to win. And that's fine. I mean, it's gotten us to 6-2 so far.
What did you guys think of Haskins today for the Redskins?
I mean, he was what we said he was. He threw a lot of air under his balls. He wasn't very mobile, and when he did get mobile, he was just going downhill, and no one could be able to tackle him. That's all.
I expected us to play him better than we did today. He didn't look bad. He looked like he was playing his first NFL game.
They took the ball out of his hands. There's nothing you could have done to change that.
We beat him up a few times with some good sacks. Jordan Phillips had a great sack.
Trey White had a great sack.
Trey White probably had the sack of the game. I think he might have some promise there. We'll see. We need to get him some weapons out.
Listen, today isn't a game that's going to be indicative of Haskins' career. They ran the ball with Adrian Peterson a ton in the first half, and then when they had to throw with them, the offense for the Redskins they couldn't move the ball. It became null. Now, I will say, we talk about the rush defense for the Bills and how great it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
I think they made a second half adjustment, and it turned out well. They had 8 carries in the second half by Adrian Peterson and only 7 yards. I'll take that.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just about to say that too. I mean, in the first half, he already eclipsed 100 yards, and off 8 carries.
Yeah, he still looks damn good. It looks like he's a rookie again.
Well, the holes he was running through. I mean, come on. That's just on the Bills' defense being gaps down.
Nobody was tackling him.
We talk about having to play the Ravens. We talk about having Nick Chubb going against us next week. Philip Lindsay's on schedule, Zeke Elliott. We have good running backs. We're going to have to fix the gaps.
You see him manhandle Levi Wallace today?
Yeah, Levi Wallace shouldn't have tried to hug him. Go low on those guys. I don't know what you got. I'm trying to tackle Adrian Peterson like you're seeing your cousin for the first time in 4 years.
Yeah, that was rough. Well, I mean, you see...
Slowed him down, though, so all right.
Yeah, I still got the first down, I think.
A fun question that
I stopped him.
I was asking Jake, and I'm going to ask both of you. Who's the MVP of the defense right now for the Bills?
I think it's easy to say. It's easy to say Trey White, but I'm gonna go with Micah Hyde. From the lack of production I'm seeing with Jordan Poyer, I look to Micah Hyde to kind of control that defense, which he is. He's not letting anything behind him. He's got a couple interceptions this year. He scored that touchdown on special teams. He's just kind of commanding that defense as a whole because, I mean, you can't expect Tremaine Edmonds, and we're not seeing that kind of take the role of what Micah Hyde is doing. I think
he's the clear-cut leader, you're saying?
Not clear-cut, but I think I can make a strong case for Micah Hyde being that.
It's Trey White. Last week he shut down Alshon Jeffrey. This week, he had a big sack in a very crucial time of the game. The week before that, he pretty much willed the game back into the Bills' favor against Ryan Fitzpatrick. Well, Trey White this last month has been stellar. He's been stellar all year, I'd say. This is Trey White's world. We're just living in it, fortunately.
I'm surprisingly going to say Jordan Phillips. He's just shocking me every week. He does something. A couple weeks ago, I sat here and said he's a cheerleader. Let the cheerleader cheer. He's just every single game he's just in the backfield, disrupting the quarterback. He's really taking the role of the top defensive lineman on this team, which I would like to see Ed Oliver do. But right now, let's enjoy Jordan Phillips. He's earned his money right now.
Yeah, Jordan Phillips is definitely the unsung hero of this defense. But when it comes to who's who, I mean, it's Trey White, 100%. He's the best player on the team, let's be honest. It's clear cut on that one. So, Josh Allen today, Dave. Rate him on a scale of 1 to 10. Did just enough. They got to win.
Got to win. He didn't make any mistakes. He did lose a fumble, but we recovered it. I would say 6. He did what he had to do. Wasn't an all-star. Wasn't the best quarterback of the day for any of the NFL teams, but he played safe. We won the game, 2 touchdowns. He didn't make mistakes. 6, and that's all we can ask. We wanted a run game. We got a run game today.
Jacob?
I'm going to give him a 7. I'm not looking for 400 yards passing out of him. I think a solid benchmark is 200 plus. I don't think he eclipsed that today. Good game management, like you said earlier, Zach. I'm really happy that he's not playing that hero ball anymore. But going forward, I think that's going to limit him. And I think it's on part of the coaching staff's decision to water him down, which I'm not happy with. I'd rather have those interceptions, which in time he would learn from, rather than him just dumping down to Cole Beasley every 4 plays. So he did what he had to do. 6-2. I can't complain.
Listen, that's horrible. I mean, whatever. You know, we got a 6, we got a 7. I'd say he played a 5 today because he did just enough. I don't think this is what I want my franchise quarterback to be. This is what I wanted Tyrod Taylor, a stopgap quarterback, to be. I'm not going to ask for much more because they did win the game, but I mean, I need to see more through these last 3 home games where I got an up close, look of, Josh Allen. I didn't get to see much of anything. What did I get out of this? This month of having them in our, here.
Yeah. I
didn't see much change. The most exciting Josh Allen was December 2018 Josh Allen. That's 100%. I haven't seen that guy back since, actually, maybe the opening drive of the Jets game. I saw him slinging it all over the place and moving the ball well. I haven't seen that kind of killer instinct in him other than the fourth quarter in some games. I think I need more out of him. I don't think the coaching staff wants more out of him. I think that's eventually going to be the pass that I have with this coaching staff and this quarterback with my views. My views is I'm going to want more out of this quarterback. He's going to be the franchise guy. I'm going to have to pay him a second contract eventually if he is the guy, which at this course of the season, it's going to look like he is the guy. They're 6-2. I can't be too mad about that. He's done just enough.
We're 6-2. His name's on that. Just like when we're 2-6 and he's still playing well, his name still goes on it that we're a losing team. We're 6-2. We're a winning team right now. Josh Allen should have all the credit.
No, I disagree. The defense should have most of the credit. The defense has been the best part of this team, even when they haven't been the greatest. I would say that needing Josh Allen to play complementary football isn't enough.
Isn't you saying you live and die by the quarterback?
Exactly. And sadly...
6-2.
Okay, and what does that have to do with anything? I'm living and dying by a quarterback that Tyrod Taylor could play right now. This is no difference than a Tyrod Taylor quarterback.
I disagree. I think he's playing better than Tyrod Taylor.
I think he's the same fucking quarterback as Tyrod Taylor right now. Oh, Jake just told me that a good benchmark for him is 200 yards.
We don't know what his benchmark is yet.
It's starting to revert to a mean. We're getting plenty of games to see what his benchmark is.
We haven't established our offense yet. I think we have one good receiver on the team. I think
they've played 8 games. We haven't established an offense. This is what our offense is now.
Well, I think, and again, like last week, I think that's more on Dable. I think Dable his play calling has been horrific. I think all season. I don't think he'll have a job at the end of the year, depending on what our record is. I think Allen has the tools to be a franchise quarterback.
He absolutely has the tools. We
haven't seen it yet,
and they've watered him down. They're happy with having him have 7 touchdowns and 1 interception the last 4 games. They're happy with that
because I think that you'll see in the offseason too. They're not happy with the weapons around him. There's no.
Then why did they sit on their hands during the trade deadline?
I can't answer that. I agree that we should have made a move. I understand why we didn't make a move. I think the tight end position is inconsistent. I think the receiving position is inconsistent. And this is the first time all year that we've actually seen a running game.
More inconsistent than Zay Jones and Kelvin Benjamin?
Yes.
Well, those are the weapons they gave Tyrod Taylor.
No, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. I misheard you.
Oh,
they've upgraded this position immensely compared to last year.
Brown has played well.
John Brown's on pace for 1,200 yards and 84
John
catches.
Brown has played well. You guys can't say Cole Beasley's is playing as well as we think.
At least in the past 2 games.
John Brown, look up Cole Beasley's stats right now, and you'll be surprised to see how good they are.
I did look at their stats earlier. I'm saying I expected more out of these guys, and you should too. You should.
Why would you expect more out of these guys? None of them are number ones besides maybe John Brown. He's a fringe number 1. And they're only getting... Listen, Dak Prescott made Cole Beasley look great for years.
Well, really, besides Brown and Beasley, we have no other weapons to throw to on a consistent basis at all.
We just paid a tight end this season that's played 3 games.
And he's been disappointing.
We just drafted a third round tight end.
Back to my thing. I don't think we have an established offense yet, so I don't think Allen deserves all the blame for that. I think this is the first game all season that we've had a run game that we feel good about. Gore's had good games, but this is the first time that we've actually had a run game, a running back that we could throw the ball to and is a threat in the backfield and in the passing game. I just think, we don't know. Maybe now we see there's just been no consistency on offense, and I don't think Allen's to blame for
And
that.
this goes back to, what was it, last year, where I had a podcast where I ranted about not hiring defensive coaches. Whether you like McDermott or not, the focus in this league is offense. Look at Lamar Jackson. Literally, they sub out a Super Bowl winning quarterback with a rookie quarterback. They go to the playoffs, and now he's trouncing the Patriots right now at home. I mean, listen, there's options for these guys to be good. I mean, what more do you need? At what point does this go on the coaching staff? Yes, it's Dable, but who hired Dable? Who brought Dable on the staff? Who's building a roster around Josh Allen? This guy's his second year.
So we got there. We both agree. We just got there.
That what?
We are blaming the coaching staff. Yes, he hasn't reached his max capacity.
When have I not blamed the coaching staff? I said that they've wasted him. They've watered him down. They want him to be a 7-touchdown, 1 interception over 4 games. Some quarterbacks have those stats in 2 games.
Do you know the Bills?
Yeah, and it's not Allen's fault.
2? We won today, right?
They've watered him down.
I think Allen has the tools to be a top guy.
Like 14 minutes, and we had some time to.
Guys, we won today, guys.
Yes, we're 6-2. Yes, things look great.
You know who looks great? Lamar Jackson.
All right, let's stop talking about shitty things. Let's talk about good things. We reiterate, Devin Singletary, man. Did you guys expect him to be what he is? I don't want to call him dominant, but as solid as he had been when we drafted him on draft night.
Today, he doubled his carries for the season.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the Bills were pot committed. You should put that on there as a thing when you put this up. Pot committed. Bills are all in on Devin Singletary today.
No, I agree. They decided to stick with the run because they saw how advantageous it could be. I think they kind of got hammered in the media this week, and people were questioning why Singletary wasn't being used more because his efficiency in the second half really shined through of a missing in the first half of last week's game. Listen, you only have one NFC game left. The rest are all AFC games. This is where the schedule matters. This is where to go. You go to the Browns, you go to the Dolphins, you come home to the Broncos. You got one NFC game, and then it's 4 straight to end the season. You need a playoff position here. You got to find out where you're going to get those 4 more wins from. Is it the Dolphins? Probably. Is it the Jets who lost to the Dolphins? Probably. You don't guarantee wins, but that's only 8. Where are you getting the other ones? Broncos aren't great.
Steelers look tougher than we imagined.
Steelers are 4-4 now.
Ravens are going to be tough.
You got to find out where you're going to get those 4 other wins to get to 10-6.
I agree with Zach. Now's the time to buckle that. The good thing is we had no major injuries today, unless I'm wrong. I know Hyde was injured, came back in.
Listen, Cody Ford didn't play a snap today, and I don't think they missed him once.
No, certainly.
No,
I've been saying it all year. Cody Ford has been terrible.
Nyseki's definitely the better right tackle. He deserves.
Not even close. Not even close.
Actually, the offensive line has looked great all year. Feliciano is a great pickup.
Actually, they look terrible when Cody Ford's in.
1,000%.
Well, Cody Ford does not look good. I agree.
And he's probably going to have to find a nice, comfortable spot on the bench for the rest of the year. Because I'm going Naseki until he's hurt. And then next year I'm bringing back Waddle, and we're going to go for it again. They're in charge of bringing in an offensive playmaker into this game.
Who, Waddle? Is he on the IR?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Forgot about him.
Yeah, exactly. Because you got an offensive line that they built, and they had to rush Cody Ford into this a little bit. This team's going to be better next year, but they don't have as good of a schedule as they do this year. You got to take advantage of it now.
Oh, 1,000%.
You got to figure out what you want Josh Allen to be, because at what point is 7 touchdowns and 1 interception is not going to be good enough? Because that's over 4 games. That's not a 3-game stretch. It's not a 2-game stretch. That's 4 games.
Yeah, I remember a couple podcasts ago we were talking. We're okay with him getting 20 interceptions. It means he's taking risks as long as his progression is working. The Tyrod play that Zach's referring to is you would throw 20 touchdowns but 2 interceptions at the end of the year. But Tyrod took no risks. His were dink and dunks.
He had 2,300
That is kind of what
yards.
Josh Allen's turning into. I do want to see some longer passes, like 20-yard passes and receptions. They had the long pass to Robert Woods.
Listen, I only want long passes when they're open, when they're feasible.
Like, we can talk about whether the Robert Woods pass is underthrown or should have been caught. I honestly don't remember. I think Woods should have caught it.
It was thrown to a place where no one was going to catch it besides Robert Woods. Now the Patriots and Ravens are fighting. Dave, who's a diamond? Prima Pizza, sponsoring it. Who's your diamond in the rough?
Who do you guys think it is? Is it Devin Singletary getting his second diamond?
No.
You are right. It is Devin Singletary. He's the player of the game today.
What a
Tore
weird
it up.
guessing game.
I think he's going to be
I didn't
rookie.
get the guess.
I think Devin Singletary is going to be Rookie of the Week for the NFL. What do you guys think?
Probably. He had 140 all-purpose yards and a touchdown.
A lot of it in the
I'll
first
take it.
quarter.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So that's it. That's the diamond in the rough. Congratulations. Your second one, Devin Singletary. Jordan Phillips, you do deserve it, but Singletary outshined you today.
Sorry,
Outshine. That's all I like that because it's diamond shine. Shine bright like a diamond.
I was working on that all week.
That's a tough one to work on all week.
We will be back when, guys?
Wednesday.
Against the Browns, which
Fire hot.
everyone's saying
I'm
is a
so
huge
excited
game.
for this podcast. So excited for this podcast.
I have no feelings about the Browns. I think they're awful. I called them before the season started that they have too many hotheads on that team and they will be awful.
They haven't boiled over yet.
It's going according to plan. I am looking forward to the Trey White and Odell matchup. That's going to be fun.
I was thinking about that today. It's going to be an interesting one because talent versus talent stack. I don't think they faced each other yet.
We did not play the Giants last year, so no, they haven't. That'll be a fun matchup.
100%.
Another matchup will be Jarvis Landry versus Levi Wallace. Wednesday will be a fun podcast. There's going to be a lot to talk about.
We're going to have a lot of Browns talk for you. We're going to be taking deep dives Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday we're coming at you full force. Thursday it'll be out.
Remember this name, guys. Myles Garrett, leading the league in sacks.
Remember this name, guys. Mad Men Sports. Thank you for listening.
Holy shit, that was good.
Cheers to a day well done.
That was good. I like that.
You know.
That was good.